This new game looks like it's been ripped straight out of a child's imagination. You know those games you kind of set up when you were little with your toys? This is one of them. I was one of those kids who would imagine games like this happening while I was walking through a busy city centre. In my head I'd be thinking, what would happen right now if aliens invaded this town? This is exactly how it will go down. This is Warhammer 40,000 Space Marines 2. It follows on from the cult classic first instalment, and it was first revealed at the Game Awards, but I feel it flew completely under the radar due to the pure amount of games announced that evening. Honestly, it was an onslaught of new content. This game was a huge surprise to those who actually saw it as well. We had absolutely no indication that a game like this was actually being worked on, let alone have a trailer and a release window confirmed. The main takeaway from it all is that the game looks like a lot of fun and absolutely chaotic. This is what we need from new games. The feeling that we are creating the game in our heads as a child. That sort of phantasmical joy and wild imagination that is severely lacking from a lot of games that, while they play fantastically, take themselves a little too seriously at times. The action in this Warhammer game is borderline comical from how wild it looks, but man, it looks so good. So what exactly do we know about Space Marines 2 so far? Well, it's a linear action game. Thank goodness for that. We have far too many open world games now. I want to be taken back to the classics like Gears of War and their linear-like experience. We're going to be playing as the Space Marines, who are superhuman warriors whose sole purpose it is to protect the Earth from evil, which looks exactly like what they are doing in this trailer. You are thrown slap bang into a full-scale multi-planet war against an ever-growing horde of horrific monsters. You have a number of guns at your disposal, as well as a trusty hand chainsaw to chop down enemies at close range. Don't expect something like the Doom level of combat speed, but it will certainly be quicker than Callisto Protocol. You'll be spending most of your time mowing down mobs of enemies that try and horde around you. The studio in charge of the game is called Studio Saber Interactive. You may have known from the ever popular game World War Z. That title is pretty well known for its large-scale zombie invasions, so it's probably a safe assumption that we'll be seeing the same level of action in this game. World War Z released on an obsolete engine as well. We have miles better technology now, and can increase the scale by double and maybe even triple thanks to the next-gen consoles. So imagine the amount of enemies you would see on your screen in World War Z, and times that by 3. That should be what we'll be seeing in this new title. When asked about the combat system for the game, a lot of the developers have suggested it will be like something we have never seen before, which is a very cliche thing to say, and quite often does not become a reality at all. But you know what, I'm confident that this one will feel different. They've clearly spent a lot of time working on this game, and they want it to feel like a proper Space Marine experience. There is so much lore and backstory behind the Warhammer characters, meaning they have a serious amount of material to work with, and with it they can make the world, combat and characters look and feel real to the stories most fans are used to. The game is set to include battles on a scale we have never seen before from a Warhammer game, along with an awesome story and some epic action moments. This is all so the player can truly feel like a Space Marine, who are meant to be near enough unstoppable death machines. The producers wanted to elevate the feel of impact from the player, making it seem like when the Space Marines turn up, carnage is about to happen. The developers have already said that they want to keep things faithful to the lore, while making things pretty realistic at the same time. The only change we've actually seen so far is some slight adjustments to the shape of the Marines due to them looking rather clunky in video game form when accurately emulated from their model form. Space Marines 2 looks like it's going to be one of those games where you can just sit down and have a great time with it. It probably will not be overly challenging and will mostly rely on you smashing your way through large groups of enemies and generally feeling bigger than life itself, which is absolutely the type of vibe we need right now. We expect that the game will be releasing next year, but as ever, any new information we find out about the game will be told here first, so make sure you subscribe to us here at GG Recon Gaming.